My boys, a day is ours. See it.
Desperately. Some have died of the heat.
We must break off, Your Excellency, or we could lose all that we've gained.
Very well.
You have wronged me, sir. I meant to make a stand at the very spot where you accosted me. I saved your bloody army. How dare you order me from the field? The victory would have been mine.
For 20 years, I have been in awe of you professional soldiers. Loudon, Braddock, Forbes, Gates, all of you. I've listened to you, respected you, deferred to your judgment. My God, no more. General Lee, you're finished in this army. Get out of my sight.
Mutiny. We're starving, Colonel. No pay for 5 months, and when we get it, the money ain't worth a spit in the wind.
Yeah! Now our cooking pots are empty. Our bellies burn from hunger. And if we don't find something to eat soon...
It's better we go home than starve! Yeah! The forage wagons will soon be back. Damn the forage wagons! There's never enough. If we need to, we'll take what we have to at the end of this gun.
Yeah!
We men have won honor in battle. Don't forfeit it now with reckless anger. Go back to your huts! No! General Washington has already left for Philadelphia to plead your cause.
Yes, I understand that, but how can a country overflowing with plenty let die of hunger soldiers defending its freedom?
But money from federal presses is worthless. We are forced to depend on the states to supply your continentals.
Damnable manipulators and money men. They buy at a pittance and then drive the prices up to make a killing. There's no punishment too great for the man who builds his fortune on his country's ruin.
Why don't you tell that to your military governor? Ask him why he is so cozy with Tory speculators.
Is Arnold guilty of wrongdoing, Mr. Mifflin?
He is under investigation at this moment.
Well, until you have a case to justify a court-martial, I suggest you not use as a scapegoat for thieving merchants. A gentleman who gave his blood to save us at Saratoga.
Your Excellency, may I present the former Peggy Shippen, Now, Mrs. Benedict Arnold.
Of course.
We are honored that you would join us, Your Excellency.
Well, the honor is all mine.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Well, you ought to be congratulated. She's a lovely young lady.
Thank you, sir. I must talk with you. If it is about the way I choose to live, sir.
You have made powerful enemies.
So have you, sir. And the same ones. They know that you are my friend, sir. And so they would hurt you through me. I have something to show you, sir, in private that will make your blood boil. Permit me to get it.
Of course.
My dear, see to His Excellency. I shall be right back.
You must be hungry. Allow me to fix you a plate.
Of course.
General Arnold and I owe you gratitude, sir,
How's that?
for being our matchmaker. Had you not appointed Benedict military governor, we might never have met. He has sacrificed so much for this country. It saddens me to see his days blighted by malicious rumors.
Mrs. Arnold.
You yourself wanted him to protect Tories from persecution, and that is all he has done.
Please, I'm not very hungry.
But, Your Excellency, we prepared so many delicacies just for you.
I wish you hadn't.
Have we offended you in some way?
No, it's just all too much.
Of course. Why didn't I realize you were disturbed at all this food? The rumors of our army starving in Morristown.
Not rumors, Mrs. Arnold. It's the truth.
Your Excellency, forgive me. The last thing in the world Benedict would ever want to do is to offend you. Please, don't blame him for this. He only wanted to please me.
If you will look to your other guests, my dear, the General and I must talk.
Of course. Your Excellency?
I do not want that dear child to see this. An indictment by their damnable executive council.
Not here.
That indictment charges me with illegal transactions, support of Tories, and defiance of the independent sovereignty of Pennsylvania. I would gladly hang Joseph Reed and Thomas Mifflin.
Yes, and they would hang Tories. I wish to God I could put a stop to all of this wild talk. On both sides, especially from one of my own generals.
I'm sorry, sir. I only want vindication so that I can better serve you.
I now see that it was a mistake to have taken you from the army and made you a military governor.
God knows I do not enjoy this life of ease. I yearn for the field again. The smell of gunpowder.
Yes, that's more like you. And when this investigation clears you, I'll find an honorable position for you in the Continental Forces.
I understand that General Schuyler has urged you to give me the command of the fortress at West Point.
Yes, I would have thought a more active post, but your leg seems to be,
This leg is good enough for the command at West Point. Get me out of this contentious city. Restore my fighting spirit, so that when the wound does finally heal, I will be at your side on the battlefield.
I'd like nothing better. You must tell the French ambassador that this new nation is desperate. Our resources have been devastated by 5 bitter years of war.
I understand, Your Excellency.
Our enemy holds the capital town and most of New York State. Cornwallis has captured Georgia and holds the rest of the South at his mercy.
Mon General,
Damnation, sir, I can wait no longer. You must send your fleet from the West Indies to help us.
Sir, the Marquis is in our army, not the French.
The Marquis knows this is not aimed at him.
Washington. I rode the night rather than trust dispatches to a courier. Gates' army has been routed.
I can't believe it.
The Carolinas are gone. Perhaps Virginia next. Gates made no effort to make another stand. By evening, he was 60 miles from the battle on a very fast horse.
That's the posturing fool they would put in your place.
We must strike a blow at Clinton in New York if we are to save our Southern Army.
Sir, we haven't a sufficient force.
Yes, well, together with the French troops at Newport, we might. I've waited long enough for our cherished allies to ready themselves to fight. Protocol be damned. I'll go to Rochambeau myself.
The
message was delivered by relay, sir, from the Commander-in-Chief.
Oh, forgive me, sir. I didn't realize.
You may go now, Colonel Verdick. I'll dictate a reply later.
What is it?
A message from His Excellency. He wants me to send an armed guard to join him on the road to Hartford and escort him to meet Rochambeau. Washington intends to dine with us upon his return. But if our friends are as interested in this information as I expect they are, you'll not have to worry about setting out your best plate for His Excellency. Get this through the Patriot lines to Major Andre as quickly as possible.
Are you sure?
It should prove to them our worth. Go. Do it.
May fortune shine on your efforts here, General Rochambeau.
Que la fortune éclaire vos efforts, Général Rochambeau.
Au grand général de la liberté, George Washington, Sa Suprême Majesté Louis XVI envoie ses salutations, auxquelles j'ajoute les miennes.
To the great General of Freedom, George Washington, His Supreme Majesty Louis XVI sends his greetings, to which General Rochambeau heartily joins his own.
All of America salute the great French army.
Toute l'Amérique salue la grande armée française.
Et toute la France salue la grande armée américaine.
And all of the France salutes the great American army.
Let us also drink to the recapture of New York City.
Son Excellence George Washington dit, buvons à la reprise de la ville de New York.
Ah non, messieurs.
Et he says no, sirs.
Votre armée américaine n'est pas très puissante.
Your American army is not very
Même avec les
strong.
deux forces unies.
And even together with his small force, we are not the equal of the British, who are waiting behind their massive fortifications to slaughter us.
Tell the general that I have heard that a grand French fleet will be in the West Indies this summer.
Une grande flotte française arrive aux Indes occidentales cet été.
Could persuade his government to send those ships and those soldiers to New York City, and then we would be strong enough.
A envoyé cette flotte à New York. Et ensuite, en ce moment, nous les Alliés, nous serions alors les plus forts.
Mais mon cher Lafayette, Cornwallis menace actuellement la Virginie.
He says, my dear General, Cornwallis is now menacing Virginia. And the fleet of Admiral de Grasse is closer to the Chesapeake.
Pourrait-on séparer Cornwallis de sa flotte?
Perhaps it would be possible to cut off Cornwallis from his navy and supplies, and together attack him in force. Would this not be tempting, General? No?
But how would we get both armies out from under Clinton's eyes?
Comment pourrait-on tirer nos deux armées
march south without
et marcher au sud
the enemy knowing it?
Sans que l'ennemi ne le sache pas.
Lui, s'il y a un moyen, Georges le renard le trouvera.
He says, if there is a way, George the fox, that is what he calls you. George the Fox will find it.
I see now why they call you the bulldog of the battlefield, General Rochambeau.
Il comprend maintenant, il vous appelle le chien taureau de...
Chien.
Non.
Chien, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire, ça, chien?
Non, chien taureau, chien féroce, bulldog.
Oh, bulldog?
Bulldog.
Ah, bulldog, oui, j'ai compris, oui.
Perhaps two stubborn men,
peut-être
perhaps two stubborn men, each having met his match, can now agree to do something.
Et peut-être deux hommes têtus, en rencontrant leur égal, peuvent maintenant s'accorder à faire quelque chose.
Eh bien, moi... je bois à quelque chose.
He says he will drink to something.
A decent breakfast with General Arnold should restore my good spirits. I tell you, I've never been more frustrated. Is the French fleet coming, or isn't it, Hamilton? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, General Arnold has gone to West Point to prepare a welcome for you.
We are a bit late, sir.
Well, if you gentlemen hadn't taken us off the main road because of some probable false report of an enemy patrol.
Well, one cannot be too careful, sir.
And what of Mrs. Arnold?
She's not yet risen.
I suppose it is a fashion for pretty ladies to sleep late. You stay behind, Hamilton, to receive any dispatches. We'll proceed on to West Point.
Forgive us, sir. We would have prepared a suitable reception at West Point if only we had been notified you were to arrive.
Well, I was informed General Arnold preceded me.
Sir, we have not seen the General.
And he knew I was to be here.
Perhaps General Arnold has landed at another redoubt. If you care to, Your Excellency, the gun emplacements are ready for your inspection.
Yes, come in.
From Washington, a writer just brought a packet of papers sent to you from the Croton River Post. I think you should look at them right away, sir.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Okay. 3 Patriot irregulars stopped a lone horseman in civilian dress who behaved in such an agitated fashion that they searched him. Found these in his boots. Official pass made out to John Anderson to move between the lines, signed by Benedict Arnold. And this, secret information from our last council of war, useful to an enemy who planned to capture West Point. Incredible.
This John Anderson. Perhaps he can be made to talk.
He already has. They sent a letter to His Excellency along with the packet. He's Major Jean-Andre, Adjutant General of the British Army, and he has the gall to claim he isn't a spy and refuses to tell us where Arnold is.
I want Arnold. I'll hang that traitor if it's the last thing I do on God's earth.
He must have escaped downriver.
Colonel Hamilton, gallop to King's Ferry. We have forces there who could stop his barge before it's too late.
Yes, sir.
General Washington! Sir, Mrs. Arnold is going mad. She's screaming for you.
Bring me General Washington!
Arnold?
General Arnold is gone. He's gone forever. There, the spirits have carried him up there. They put hot irons in his head.
Mrs. Arnold, here is His Excellency.
No, you're not General Washington.
Arnold,
no.
how can I help?
General Arnold cannot protect me.
How can I help?
Gone. Hot irons. I have hot irons in my head. Burning me. Burning me. Burning me. Burn
You must find him. He must not escape. Do you hear me? I want to see him hang.
Protect me. He's gone forever. They're burning me.
I could be sure that Arnold would tonight send a raiding party across this river to try to capture Bull.
We hear rumors that Arnold has been made a brigadier general in His Majesty's regulars and will fight against us.
Yes?
Sir, another mutiny. The Jersey troops at Pompton Lakes had defied their officers and set out for Trenton.
What the British have failed to do in 5 years of war, this spreading revolt within our own army could accomplish overnight.
Sir, you know what must be done.
An example must be set. Seize 1 or 2 of the mutineers. Let them be tried and shot by their own kind.
That could incite further revolt.
Our liberties are lost if armed soldiers dictate terms to their country.
Yes, sir.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Make ready!
Be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Hallowed. Give us this day our daily bread.
Take aim!
Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And deliver us not into evil.
Fire!
Sir, it's Richard Henry Lee.
I was told I'd find you already about, General Washington.
Mr. Lee, you must have ridden all night.
All the way from Virginia. Our Southern Army's done little more than play the fox to Cornwallis's hounds. The capital has fallen.
My wife, is she?
Yes, I stopped by Mount Vernon on my way, knowing you'd be concerned. She's safe for the moment.
Thank God.
But there is nothing to stop Arnold from sending British warships up the Potomac.
If I could capture that traitor.
Perhaps you can.
Congress is now ready to offer you what amounts to dictatorial power in Virginia if you will lead 2,000 or 3,000 good troops.
I would take far more than that. And I will not divide this army so that we could rescue Virginia at the risk of losing Philadelphia and New England.
You would turn your back on the land we both love? You could be bankrupt, your estate confiscated.
My friend, Mount Vernon is as much a part of me as my blood, but I cannot abandon my duty to these states who wish to become one people. We pray God that the promised French fleet arrives before it's too late.
Where's Colonel Hammond? Upstairs, Your Excellency.
Attention. Rochambeau is still dawdling. I must speak with you, Colonel Hammond.
Sir, I'll be there in a moment. He's in another fury about the French, and I'm not sure I'm up to it right now. I worked with him by smoky candlelight half the night, planning the capture of Arnold. My eyes are two burned holes and an empty skull.
A feeling I am familiar with. You'd best go to him. He has a great deal to concern him.
So have I.
You have kept me waiting at the head of the stairs. I must tell you, sir, you treat me with disrespect.
Do I? Well, if that's the way you feel, sir, maybe it's time I left your service.
If it be your choice.
You shall have my resignation as soon as my hand can write it. Colonel Tillman tells me you wish to heal our differences.
I'm sure that we both regret what happened and would put this entire affair behind us.
It happened for a reason, sir, and I will not withdraw my resignation.
I have always treated
Oh, yes. You sent me on important missions, encouraged me to preside at the headquarters table. Such scraps from your bounty.
Colonel Hamilton.
I begged to be in the field, to lead troops in battle, but you always put me off, so I will take no more, sir.
I know how frustrated you've been, Alex. I felt the same way at your age. I forget that you have a destiny of your own. Perhaps you'll stay on until you can be replaced.
Of course, sir. Of course.
There's nothing further to say, is there?
No, sir. There's nothing.
Alex? You shall have your line, Command.
Thank you, sir.
By God, Lawrence, you have brought news as to stir the blood.
Sir, the others will be here as soon as their aides can gather them.
A powerful French fleet under Admiral de Grasse with 3,000 land troops has left the West Indies and sails directly for the Chesapeake.
The time is now. For de Grasse's fleet can only stay a few weeks. So, if we are to trap Cornwallis at Yorktown, we must reach the Chesapeake by the time the Admiral arrives.
But as soon as Clinton sees us break camp, sir,
We won't let him see us. We'll make him think that we still plan to attack New York.
But how will we leave New York and march south hundreds of miles without the enemy knowing?
We found a way to deceive them on Long Island. Now we must be even more clever. What do you think? Would it fool you?
The few men we leave behind will make a company seem like a dozen regiments.
They'll light hundreds of these campfires each night.
These same men will harass the British outposts every night.
Yes.